together. Okay, all right, I think we're back in action. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is September 24th. The month is almost over. I hope you are where you want to be in your business and what your paycheck wants to be on the 10th. If you want your paycheck to be bigger, I suggest you start hustling. You still got a lot of time left, and this next month in October is going to be huge. So you've got plenty of time to make that happen. Okay, let's start with a couple of announcements really quick. I'm trying to get to my news tab. The Harvest Collection products, the Harvest hand soap has sold out, but the Harvest Delights Scentsy 3-bar pack will be back in stock on 9/30. So just be aware of that, and that it is while supplies last. The return of BBMB makes a return October 1st. It happens twice a year. You and your customers will have the chance to vote for much-loved discontinued Scentsy bars to rejoin our lineup for a limited time. The top 25 bars will then go on sale for the entire month of January, enough time to stock up on their favorite scent or add it to their Scentsy Club subscription. There are 2 rounds of voting, one to nominate your favorite bars and another to vote for the finalists. So round 1, voting, you can nominate your favorite bars. It opens at 8 a.m. Pacific time on October 1st and will end at 11:59 p.m. October 5th. So that's the first round. You can continuing to vote on your PWS and send your customers there as well. Round 2 voting for the finalists will be October 7th through the 11th. It'll open at 8 a.m. on the 7th and close at 11:59. So voting will take place on your PWS. So if you do not have an active PWS, make sure you enroll in that on your account tab on your workstation. And you can vote as often as every 5 minutes. So make sure you are getting your finger ready to click. If you don't know what to pick, just vote for Exotic Vanilla. It's one of my favorites, and I think you'd love it. So if you just don't know what to choose that one. Any Scentsy bars that have been available within the past 2 years are not eligible, and winners will be announced October 21st. All right, let's go back to see our next little announcement. Marvel Spider-Man and the Avengers will be leaving us soon. So if you have any customers who still haven't purchased the Spider-Man Buddy or the Marvel's Avengers Scent Circles, it's time to take action because they will be only available until 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, September 30th, or while supplies last. So they are fading away. So if you want it, you better get it. The back order and partial shipment is listed on your workstation. You can visit Scentsy's YouTube channel for inspiration consultant success stories as well. And then, hold on one second. Let me send this link. I apologize. I need to send her this link. She can't get on for our call. Madi, do you want to talk about anything while I'm getting her the link? Or Michelle, anybody?
Sure. Today, I'll just let you guys know something I did today, and I can encourage you guys to do it, and people you guys can get a hold of. I got the hand soaps. It was the autumn ones, but it's not a big deal if you don't get those. You can do it with any hand soap. I put them in a baggie from the dollar store and put a cute ribbon on it and made a tag. And I actually made it for my husband, who's a real estate agent, for pop-by gifts. He's going to put it out to their gifts for everybody. And so he started passing them out today. But the cool thing about it is I took pictures of it. And I'm sending it to every real estate agent I know, every mortgage person I know, every title person I know, anybody that I know that owns any kind of business that wants to give something to maybe their employees and stuff like that. So just an idea for you guys to maybe create something cute and fun, and not just do that, take pictures of it and think about, okay, who could I market this to, and actually send it out to those people to see if you can get group orders of them. So, are you done?
Awesome. Yes, thanks, Buddy. I appreciate that. Okay, really quick, let's go through our top sponsors for the week. Oh my gosh, this one's going to be, wait, it may be more than 10 because, hello, there are some big numbers happening here. So, those consultants that have sponsored 3 new team members already this month: Consuelo Ramirez, Michaela Swerdloff, Angela Carter, Samantha Puffenbarger, Alessandra St. Clair, Sierra Shockey, Sarah Caceres, Michelle Kimball, congratulations. With 4, Andrea Ryder, Kimberly Randall, which I think is 5 because I just got an email that she got another consultant. So she might be 5, I'm not sure. Melanie Lanier, Brandy Braithwaite, congratulations to you. Those that have sponsored 5 people, Ashley Goebel, Cami Beam, and in 6 recruits this month, oh my gosh, Megan Michael, congratulations to you. Y'all are killing it. And the big money, as y'all know, if you saw mine and Jody's live on the way home, when we were talking about how you make big money in this company, it is through sponsoring. You will not make 6 figures just selling. So if that's something you're interested in doing, is making 6 figures with this company, you've got to sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. Okay, let's talk about our top 10 sales this week. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 10th place, and she's on this call live, Holly Cullen, congratulations to you. The next place, 9th, is Sarah Caceres. 8th, Roberta Kane. Maddie Swain is on here in 7th. 6th place is Holly Armstrong. Vicki Rohr. Michelle Kimball, you're on here. Megan Michaels in 3rd. Andrea Ryder. And then I'm leading this month only because I have that crazy fundraiser. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in the top, I don't think, but it's because it's the Dawson High School fundraiser. So congratulations to all of you. Y'all are doing an awesome, awesome job. And I am going to introduce now our wonderful guest speaker. And I found her really good write-up on her website. So if for those of you that don't have your story on your PWS, you really, really should have that on there, because I was reading Bree's while ago, and I am like, oh my gosh, I need to go update mine because mine is junk compared to hers. I need to get it up to date. She's got new bars on there. That's her favorite scent. So I get the privilege to introduce Bree. She actually was a qualifier in the top 50 earners of this past incentive trip. And she lives in, I hope I'm saying this right, Hoopeston? Is it?
Hoopeston.
Hoopeston, Illinois. Okay, it's home of the Corn Jerkers with her husband Randy, and she has 2 daughters. And she is a full-time special education teacher for kindergarten students. So I think Michelle Kimball will have a special place in her heart. She can relate to that because she's a teacher on here as well. And Cincy is her happy place. She found Cincy in 2009 when she was gifted a warmer and wax as a gift her first year teaching from a student. She was broke her first year as a teacher who couldn't afford the wax bar refills. And while she loved the product, it was something that she had to live without while she was struggling. Over the years, she started focusing on Dave Ramsey's methods. Maudie, you're familiar with that. I believe that got your family completely debt-free, which is pretty amazing. To get her family out of debt in 2017, she researched companies that she could work for while maintaining her full position and staying at home with her kids during the summer. Cincy kept coming up and she took the plunge. Her goal was, when she first signed up, was to pay off her student loans in full, a lofty goal for someone who owed over $15,000. But she loves to dream big. In 14 months, Cincy helped her pay off those loans in full. So how did she do this? A whole lot of love, showing up and believing that I can achieve anything I put my mind to, she says. Along with my debt busting, I've earned several inclusive vacation, Disneyland in 2018, Cancun in January 2019, Marco Island in June 2019, and the top spot, 100 spot globally, and got to take her kids on her dream vacation to Disney World. And the top 50 spot globally for the Victoria, BC, Canada trip, which was just our past one. So, Bree Wallace, it is my pleasure, and thank you so much for coming on here and sharing all of your wonderful knowledge. You can take it away, darling.
Hi, guys. Thank you, Heather. I love your enthusiasm. You were so fun. Okay, so I wanted to say hi to you guys, and if you ever want to, just like pop in and say something, that's cool. I've only been doing this for 2 years, so I'm super inexperienced. I've actually never done a Zoom call ever. I was like, okay, I'll do a Zoom call. So anyways, you guys are kind of like my guinea pigs. So I kind of talked to Heather about where everyone's at. And it sounded like the focus needs to be on recruiting. So I'll be the first to say that recruiting is super, makes me super uncomfortable. I didn't want to join a direct sales company because I didn't want to be that pushy person that's like, oh, join my team, buy my, products, things like that. And so when I joined, I didn't do those things. And I just shared my products on my Facebook page, and people were interested, and they, were asking me questions about it. And my first month as a consultant, I did a party for a girl in Houston, Texas, and it went really well. And she was like, oh, how do I sell Scentsy? And I was like, I'm not quite sure. And I mean, this was my first month as a consultant. That's how far away I was from it. And so I got her signed up. I call her my little Scentsy baby. And I taught her all the things that I was doing with selling. But I really had no idea about recruiting. And as we started going along, more people were asking me, how do I join this awesome company? Because you make it look so fun. So my biggest tip is to make it replicable. You want to make it look like you're having a blast. And I do have a blast doing it. That's not a lie. I'm not selling something that's not true. I think most of us that join Scentsy, we truly do love the products, and it's a great family to join. So I do, I don't share on my personal Facebook page. I don't share a whole lot of posts about products. I save that for my VIP and my business page. But I do share the ways that Scentsy's blessed my life. So my entire Facebook following knows that Scentsy paid off my student loans. They know that Scentsy has paid for my husband's truck in cash. They know that I love the company. They know I go on vacations, and I keep them in the loop. And then people start following you, and they start to get interested, and they want to know, okay, if she can do that and she can make it look so easy, then I'm going to do it too. So I live in a town of 6,000 people. We don't have a stoplight in our town. And something that, as I started doing more recruiting, and I started actually asking people to join my team, because you have to do that. You can't just, I got lucky when I started, but you have to get to the point where you do start reaching out and you do start asking people. So when it got to the point where local people wanted to join, that made me even more uncomfortable, because I felt like I was in a super small town and I was a Scentsy lady. People knew me as a Scentsy lady. But now, like the one that made me super uncomfortable is I'm a teacher. So my coworker wanted to join Scentsy. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And I actually had a little panic, because I'm like, no, I need to make this money. Like, this is, at least a $200 party just for my coworkers every single month. I don't want to lose that to her. And I had to sit down and I had to do some math. And I realized that it was smarter for me to have her as a recruit under me than to expect her to give me a $50 order every single month, because she was doing that. She was giving me a $50 order every single month. But I figured out the math, and I was making $13 off of her giving a $50 order. And if she sold $200 under me as a director, or it wasn't even a director, I think I figured it out as like a lead, I think. I would be, or maybe I don't remember what I figured it out under. But if she sold $200 in products every single month, my paycheck would be, I would basically make $15 off of her. So it made more sense for her to become a recruit than for her to continue being a customer. Because what I found is my customers that do continue to buy Scentsy and they spend, $50 every single month, it comes a time that they're done as a customer, and not like they're done buying forever, but they're done. They don't need anything else for a while. Gets to that point. So it made more sense for her to become a recruit. And I'm here to say that once I got her to be my recruit, it actually made me think outside the box. It made me reach out to new people instead of just always relying on the same people that I know. Because I got so used to being like, oh, they're going to give me $200 order this month. And then I just got like, used to that, and I didn't push myself. So now, basically since April, my husband and I just figured this out. We have 8, between downlines and front lines, 8 people on my team in our town of 6,000 people. And it's just all because they love the positivity, they love the culture that we bring, and they love the products. And my newest recruit, she was ordering probably at least $200 every month. I mean, it was crazy amount of money that she was buying. And I finally convinced her to do a basket party. And she was like, I don't do parties. I can't sell products. I'm like, well, take my testers, take my catalog, take my order forms, see what happens. If anything, you'll just place an order for yourself. But you have to get out there. She had a $1,000 party. And these are people my husband works with in our small town. And some of those people were my customers. Some of them had never bought from me. Some of them were like, they only buy when you have parties. But when I told her how much money she was going to make off that party, she was like, what? You actually make money selling Scentsy? I mean, there's really people out there that they think that I just do this for fun. And I'm like, yeah, girl. So she ended up joining. And this month, this is now her second month as a consultant. She got over $2,000 this month because I told her that is a $600 guaranteed paycheck in her pocket. And she looked at me and she's like, that's my mortgage. I was like, yeah, Scentsy can change your life. So, if you live in a small town, if you have like a small circle of friends, if you have a small like family, don't discredit yourself that you can't recruit, because you can, and it can do big things for you. Something I'm doing personally in my business right now is I'm sending out pouch parties. I don't know if you guys have heard about those. Basically, I send out like 8 testers, and I just send them random ones. I do try to put a few of the newer scents in there. So like I just bought a fall winter transition set, and I put 8 into basically like a little bag with a catalog, some order forms, the harvest, the Christmas brochure. And I told them to take it to their friends and family. And if they got $70 in orders, that I would give them a half price item. Now you're probably thinking that's, out of compliance, but I want you to look up Spice Dawn. I absolutely love her. She's out of Pennsylvania, and she calls it a 3-way party split. And basically she breaks it down how that works, because $70, if you times that by 3, that's $210. One person's getting the half price. The other person's getting a perpetual half price. And the other person gets to use the $20 free, which really, if you think about it, if they want like a $40 warmer, well, that's still half price. So I started doing that. And it has been a huge hit, because not everybody is going to want to, they get turned off by the thought of hosting a $200 party. I mean, people think that's work. And for some people that is work. But when I can spin it and say, oh, collect $70 in orders and I'll give you something for half price, they're all about that. So I've had a lot of success with that. And what I'm finding with my pouch parties is a lot of them are over the $200. And then a lot of them are getting that confidence boost to be like, oh, yeah, it was super easy to sell this product. And then I'm throwing in the joint opportunity there. And I do hear a lot of no's, but then when I do hear a yes, that is like huge. That gives you a big time confidence booster. So in April, when we have this last incentive come out, one of my really good customers, her name is Heather. She, again, was spending like crazy amounts of money on Scentsy. She has another small business. So every time I brought up the joint opportunity to her, she was like, no, I don't have time for that. She hosted a party for me during the clearance, one of the flash sales. And she had over a $1,200 party, and she still told me no, even after I told her how much money she can make. So when they joined, they had that $15, was it? No, it was in April when they announced the slingshot. And I was like, yeah, this is an incentive. Like, this is, the different things you can earn. She was motivated to earn a gift card for Apple, to earn the level 3. And that's what got her to join. And she blew it out of the water. She's now a star consultant. She has joined in April, and she has totally taken all of, the advice I've given her, and she's just kind of taken it out on her own, like researching and learning different things. But just because someone tells you no, and if you think they're going to be a really good consultant one day, don't give up on them. You need to keep every time they order, every time you talk to them, and you don't have to do it in a pushy way. I think personally, like on my team, a lot of girls are totally turned off by that. And they're like, I don't want to be pushy. And I was like, well, Heather will tell you I wasn't pushy. I was informative to her. And I kept reminding her, like, hey, if you joined, you can get this for free. Or if you join, this is how much your paycheck would be instead of giving me your order. So I think that's really important to remember, is to keep up and don't take no as an answer. And I think a lot of us are scared of that. And that for me was something that I had to get over for my business. But I look back now, and Heather was the reason that I'm going on this trip to Canada, because she got all of those recruits and had this huge GWV. And if I was like, okay, Heather, that's fine, you don't have to join Scentsy. If I just like took that no and stopped there, I wouldn't be going on this trip. So I think that is super important. And then the one last thing is also flipping your host. So if you have a really good party, make sure that you're offering that opportunity. We kind of talked about that. And I always do like to tell them, like, hey, you know, you could join Scentsy. You can, I have this really great opportunity. This would be your paycheck. This would be your party. And they're really enticed by that. And then just keeping up a list of, I always try to keep 25 people in mind of who I would like to add to my team. And whenever there's a join special, whenever I personally joined because of the free Scentsy Go in October 2017. So people are really enticed by free stuff. And especially if it's, you know, some people are enticed to go on vacations for free. So anytime there's something new, I just kind of follow up with that person and let them know what's going on. So those are some different recruiting tips. Do you guys have any questions?
Well, I love the 3-party split, what you're talking about. I've never seen that or heard from that. So I do love that for the people that are having difficulty collecting 200 as a qualifying party. That's a really awesome way to break that down. I love that. So, and then I love what you said about Heather joining. Had you not given that to her, it was one person that helped you earn a top 50 spot to British Columbia. And I don't know why, but it kind of just gave me goosebumps when you said that, because it truly does come down. It can be one person in your team or down in your generations that truly make that big of difference in your business. And that's all it takes is one person. And I can't help but think of like Holly Cullen and Kimberly Randall. Like Holly Cullen signed up 2 years ago, almost this time of year, with a team of like 41 people now or something. Like it's how
That's
fast
awesome.
one thing grows, right? And then I see Kimberly Randall, who was a hobbyist forever. I'm just going to call her out and tell like it is. Was a hobbyist like how many years, Kimberly? I mean, really. Look, 2 years. She's like 2.5 something. This girl has recruited 5 people this month. So I don't know. She's in Leap to Lead. She's involved. Her business is changing before my eyes, and I can see it. But one of my questions to you is, Bree, is as you got these recruits in, now that they've joined, you've got to get them to promote. What's your tips and tricks, and how do you work with these people hands-on to get them to promote to different levels? What's your success with that?
Well, so I think that is really honestly where I struggle with, because I'm a people pleaser. I'm a people person. Anyone that joins my group, whether right now I only have, I think I'm down to 3 or 4 generations, but when they join my group, I want them to know that I am, I'm part of their journey. I'm here to support them. So when I first started, it was way easier because I had one person under me. So we would text, we would call, we would do, Facebook chat, whatever. We would do all these things. And as I started to grow my team, I created like a Facebook chat, and that's how I communicated with a lot of them. Now I have a team page. But I think something that's really important to me, and I know it's not doable for everybody, especially when you have these huge teams, but I do try to go through my list and I try to communicate with these people one-on-one. And I know that's not doable for everybody, but it's just something that I'm doing right now. And, there's people that in my group that they don't sell. They don't, they joined with this $15 kit. They're still sitting at zero. On my team page, I do post a lot of information, and then I expect, I'll tag my front lines, and then I expect my front lines to tag their front lines in that. So I try to do kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of, you know, like I'll post here
like
and
a
then you guys,
telephone tree, if you will, like you
yeah,
reach out to yours, they reach out to them, like that.
yeah, kind of like
Okay.
that. Just because I have 97 people on my team right now.
That's
And
a lot. That's amazing.
thanks. I started I started this year, I looked it up with, I think like 28 or something like that. So it has really blown up in a, you know,
Fast.
like you were saying, it's like, I look back and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. But I think that's where I'm struggling with. I don't have very good leadership above me. So everything I've really had to learn in my business has been from people I've met in Scentsy, or I've, you know, watched on YouTube or whatnot. But I think just building that relationship with people, because when I joined and when I hit top 100, my upline did not say anything to me. They didn't even know what top 100 was. I mean, that's how removed they are from their business. And I don't want anyone to feel like that. I don't want anyone to feel like they're just a dollar sign. And that's how I feel sometimes. So I do kind of go through and I do put a lot of effort into them, but people feel like I care, and I do care about them, and they feel important. And I think at the end of the day, they don't want to disappoint me. So I do think that they try a little bit harder. But I tell a lot of my front lines that are now, because I'm working on getting them to have downlines, and I tell them, I said, you know what? You'll find people in this business that they sign up and they think they want to do this, but they don't. And my biggest thing is, you know, you don't have to ever give up on someone, but you have to work with those that want to work and not focus on those that are not working. Because I think sometimes we put too much effort into getting these people to work and they're just not motivated to do it. So I think that, you know, you can continue to try, but I think that at the end of the day, your main focus should be on your people that are wanting to be coached and wanting to do the things. So,
oh my gosh, that's so good. All right, who has questions? I just think it's pretty amazing that here you joined in 2017 and you've already got a team that large. Already a director.
I have a question.
Yes, Kimberly.
Okay, I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with the call directly, but I hopped on kind of late and I would like to listen to it again. So how do I get to the recording?
It'll be posted tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
On the YouTube channel. Okay, who has questions about recruiting? Anybody? Like, I know it's kind of on your brain. I know a lot, and we have a little bit of days left. What, a week? It's a $15 join. Are there any specific questions that you want to know how to utilize the $15 kit? Okay, Christy, go ahead, babe.
Okay, so this is perfect timing for me because I had, as you know, because we had a conversation at SFR about a past hostess that went the extra mile and did over $1,000 party, and she didn't want to flip. And we had a conversation between me and myself and her 3 times trying to convince her to do it. Well, today she decided to reach out to me again because today is like 6 months to like from the last party that she had, and she knows about the $15 special because me and Joy have been posting about it. So now I'm up to the point of where I've asked, but I'm not getting any type of response.
She mentioned that she might want to.
Yeah, she mentioned that she may want to, but now it's just like she hasn't said anything afterwards. Like, she's like, well, I want to join and get paid for it. And then it was kind of like vague, like, kind of like, well, I don't know, but I still want to party, or I still want to party, but want to get paid for it instead. So I don't know how to approach it.
Can I give some advice, or
Yes.
is that okay?
Please.
So I would, this is just what I would do. I would try contacting her and setting a date to meet together with her, if she's open for that. and I don't know if anyone else would disagree with me, but then whenever you meet with her, like, show her the options. Because what I think I'm hearing you say is she wants to join, but she's thinking of the $15 kit, but then is also thinking of like having a party and joining that way. So it sounds to me like she needs a little bit more information about like what would be the benefits of a $15 kit versus like having a party and getting like the host exclusive kit. So if I were you, I would want to know, what is your goal? Because if her goal is just to kind of like get her own orders and be like a hobbyist, then maybe the $15 kit is okay. But if she's really wanting to make it more of like a business, that $15 kit has hardly anything in it. And so I would almost spin it that way of, if you really want to make a go of this, you know, find out why she's wanting to join. And then that can kind of lead you to guide her into the best possible way to set her up for success.
Okay.
I'm sitting here talking and I'm muted. Okay, that's awesome. Bree, what would you say?
I agree with Michelle. I think that was great advice. You definitely need to find out what kind of what she's wanting to do with this. And I always go with the parties, because if anything, if they have a party and they decide it's not for them, then they're still, you know, you're still going to get orders from that. And then that gives them an opportunity to try and see, you know, if this is for them. I'm not huge on the $15 kit, and I find that a lot of people that decide to join, they're going with the $99 kit. But again, it just depends on the person and their circumstances and what they're wanting.
Here's a question that came in for you, Bree. How do you word what to say to people to join?
Well, I guess I'm way more comfortable when they've had a party. I'm way more comfortable. But a lot of times I'll just say, you know, have you ever thought, like, if they bring up, you know, a trip I've been on, or, you know, they bring up something that I'm doing in my business, then I will say, like, have you ever thought about joining me in doing this, what I do? And they're like, oh, you know, a lot of times people are like, no way, like, that's not for me. I don't sell things. I'm like, well, I don't sell things. I share things, but okay. But like on my list of 25, a lot of those people are a lot of my customers, or they're my former coworkers. Teachers are excellent people to sell Scentsy because they have people skills and they know a lot of people. So I have tried to approach like some different teachers, and I bring that up and I tell them that it's excellent income that they could use, and that, you know, basically the stuff sells itself. And then, you know, just checking in with them. I just try to make it first a conversation. And if it comes up, then I definitely throw it in. But I never just cold message people and bring it up. That's something that I feel really strongly about not doing. So it's definitely just about building relationships, and Facebook stories are great, and you can, you know, put different things on your Facebook story. If you haven't been doing that, definitely do that. I don't personally check out people's Facebook stories, but apparently that's like a huge thing. So anytime somebody hearts my Facebook story, I'm definitely trying to communicate with them and to figure out, like, are they interested in buying products, hosting a party, joining my team, things like that. So
I think that's the number one thing is don't make it about Scentsy first. Just open up the line of communication and just start a normal conversation. And Elise, I know you're the one that asked that question. It's the same thing like you going to their table to ask what they'd like to drink. She's a waitress. And so it is very similar in that aspect. You're starting the dialogue by greeting these people when you go to their table to order. You are asking them, you're in control of the conversation, and they are at your beck and call, basically, because you're the one providing the service. Offering Scentsy and the opportunity or talking to people is pretty much the same way. And it really is. It comes down to communication, and you really just open it up, create a relationship first, and then it fits in a lot easier. Chrissy asks Bree, at what point should you do a team page? Like, how many should you have under you?
I had I hit director when I had 18 people under me. So that's when I made a team page. However, one of my friends, she's also in my same upline. She made a page when she hit SSC. So she probably had about 20 people under her, but it's, you can have a team page when you have one person. You need to do what works for you. And if that's your way of communicating with somebody, then do it. Personally, I like Facebook Messenger. I feel like it was manageable for me to do my group chat when I had about 15 people. And then once I promoted to director, I was like, okay, it's time to get a team page. But I think you just have to do what's best for you. And if you have one person on your team and you want to make a team page, go for it. I think that's great.
I'll tell you, whenever I made director, I'll never forget, I don't remember how many I even had on my team then. But I think when I started getting my first and second recruit, I was already thinking of team names immediately. And it was the best advice that was ever given to me is as soon as you get your first team member, start acting like a director and doing as a director, because it comes naturally at that point. And I was just at a leadership retreat at Karen Fettis's, and who was it that told me? Was it Chelsea Otto? I think it was. I think she said when they get their first recruit, they start their own team pages immediately and take that bull by the horns. But the message groups like Bree's talking about, the messenger, is very powerful. If it's overwhelming for you to be leading a page, those are very, very successful, and it keeps people engaged and creating relationships with each other on there. So I think it's great advice. Okay, Tammy Mayo has a question. I'll unmute you, honey. Go ahead. Oh, wait, it's still muted. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there
okay.
You go.
I had two questions, but one, since you said you're a school teacher, and you got your first warmer and bar as a gift, does that really work? Because my grandchildren, every year for Christmas, I always give them a bar and a mini warmer. I really love the owl warmer, the mini warmer. That's my favorite because I like how the body glows. But I'll give them something like that. So does it really work for you teachers? Because I haven't heard anything, but I mean, I always thought that would be something nice to give them.
Yeah, that's why I joined Scentsy, because somebody gave me a warmer and a bar.
I was excited when Heather was announcing you and saying that you were a school teacher and you got as a gift. I said, well, maybe I'm doing the right thing.
Honestly, where I live, we are in a pretty low income area and I don't get a whole lot of gifts. So anything I do get is like, I mean, I get excited over a little handwritten card, but I think that for me, I still gift these are people I work with. I gift them Scentsy as my daughter. You know, she's in kindergarten this year, so her teachers get Scentsy, but you never know when you're going to give someone a gift and they're going to see your sticker on it. And when I give gifts, I do include like information in there, at least my business card, maybe not a product sheet, because I do feel like that maybe is, kind of tacky, but I put at least my information where they can reorder. My first recruit who's in Houston, she's really shy. She doesn't know a lot of people. She's a stay-at-home mom. And I encouraged her to give the teacher, she even gave the principal a mini warmer and a bar for Christmas last year. And she said the principal contacted her this last month and wanted to know how to reorder. So you never know when somebody's gonna, and I mean, we don't give gifts to expect anything in return. Yeah. But at the same time, it's nice when you're going to give someone that first experience. It blows my mind how many people don't know about Scentsy.
I know. That's crazy. I never knew so many people didn't even know what it was. But my other question is, I know Michelle has helped me with this question, but I'm at Star Consultant right now, and I have a team of 9 people that's on my. I have 9, but one of them is one of my frontlines recruit, and she's supposed to get another recruit tonight. So at first, I used to be scared for my customers to join my team because then they would take their friends that were in my VIP page and take them with them. But then I've learned that it's better for them to make the money, so that's why it's okay. But what do you do with those, like in May and now, if they join for the $15? And like I had a girl just join me this month, and the first thing she said after I put her on our team page, was like, I didn't understand. I've always wanted to do Scentsy. I've always dreamed about joining. I think this is the time I should, but then when she saw everything that we're posting, she got scared, and now she's like, shut up. And she said, well, I didn't know it was so much involved. And I tried to explain to her, not everybody wants the same thing. So how do you get them to know that it's okay if she just wants to share with her friends, but she's scared that she's not going to be able to stay active if she, and I explained to her way before they joined me. I asked them the why, and I tried to explain to them they have four times, at least 3 times a year, they have to have $200 in sales in one month. And now she's afraid she's not going to do that. And I don't want to lose her because she seems really nice. I've met her in person. I gave her my welcome packet and talked to her, but now she's kind of on the fence of what to do.
I think it's great, everything that you've done so far. And I think you need to keep telling her, like, Scentsy is what you make of it. If you're here to sell $200 every 4 months, that's great. If you want to make a business out of it, that's great too. And I do think it's hard. Personally, I don't share a whole lot within my group because I'm a very self-conscious person, and I guess I'm humble. I don't know, but I always feel like it's going to be a turnoff if they know how much Scentsy I sell a month, especially people that are local to me. I get real nervous about that. But I just try to tell my girls, you know what, if you want to put an order in every 4 months, that's great. If you want to put an order in every month, that's great too. If you want to make this a business, I will help you do that. So I think it's just encouraging her. I also try to explain to my girls that want to do an order every 4 months. I try to explain to them, okay, put it in as a party so you can get the half price and the free items. And then also you get this much money off of it. And to me, we sell so many products that you should be using in your house. So even if she, needs to put this $200 order in, I don't know her financial situation, but I think, if she wants to stick with it, then she definitely should. But I would just keep trying to reassure her that everyone wants different things with Scentsy.
Yeah, that's why I told her nobody is right or wrong for joining. Everybody joins for their own reason. But I just I guess she didn't know there was so much involved. And I told her the things that I share on my page is you could take it or not take it. I mean, it's just for everybody, because I have a variety of people that's on my team. Some wants to recruit. Some people want to grow. Some people are just hobbyists, and it's okay. So, but I guess her seeing everything at once, it got overwhelming, and now I'm kind of think she's got scared away. So, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Tammy, has she already joined, you said?
Yeah, she joined. Her name is, I keep thinking of Bruce Jenner's name. What's his name now that he's a lady? Caitlin.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you reach out to her also and just say, you can totally take yourself out of the group page. And if you feel more comfortable private messaging me, we can go that route too. Just as Bree was saying, this business is whatever you want it to be. And your communication method can be the exact same way.
Okay, I'll try that tonight then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chrissy has a question for you, Bree. What do you put in or send to someone that has just signed up underneath you?
I like to send them a little mini starter kit. And so what I include in there is I include a catalog. I include a few order forms. Whatever samples I have laying around my house, I try to send them those. So I do a lot of samples of the new fall scents, things like that, especially with the $15 kitters. They're not getting a whole lot of testers. So I do try to spoil them a little bit, that they have something in their hands to be able to share with their customers. I also include a magnet with all my information, so they have that right for their fridge. And it has, then I include a little thing that I type up about our team, about kind of our values on our team, which are aligned with Scentsy values. But I really try to stress that we're a happy group and we don't put up with negativity at all, because you'll get people that, they join and they're here for 1 week and they're like, oh, this sucks. I can't get customers, So I just tried to give them a little bit background and what we expect. And then following up with them is most important, and communicating with them. You can't just send a welcome packet and never talk to them again, because that does happen with people. That happened with me. No one ever said anything to me when I joined Scentsy. So I think it's super important to make that personal connection. And then I also wanted to say, you guys have never read the, I think it's called the 5 Love Language book. Isn't it called that? You know what I'm talking about? You definitely want to do that, because I think it's important to figure out, like we were saying with that last situation, it's important to figure out what people want and how you can communicate with people. So definitely check out that book if you need something to read. It's really important, and it's really helped me be able to connect with my customers and my recruits in my business.
That's awesome. Anybody else have a question for her?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Bree, you're from a small town, and I am too. So I'm just curious, because you said you had like a lot of consultants in your area, right?
When I joined, we only had, well, I guess we had some, but they weren't taking it seriously. Now I have eight on my team in my area, including me. So
do you ever get the question of like, when you share the opportunity and people say, oh, there's so many consultants here and it's such a small town?
I try to explain, like, well, now I'll use my girl that sold $2,000 this month as an example. I mean, I'll share with you guys because I don't really know you, but my PRV is almost $4,000 this month. She sold $2,000 this month. And I try to explain to people that we all know different people. If we made a map, we would probably only maybe have a few people in common, but we all know different people. And so I think it's important to not just concentrate on your area. When I joined Scentsy, I didn't tell local people that I was selling Scentsy because I was so shy, and I didn't want people to make fun of me for being in a direct sales company, because I cared that much about what people thought about me. It wasn't probably until like 4 or 5 months into my business that I actually told people I was selling Scentsy in my actual area. I was just focused on people like back home where I'm from, people that I have connections with online in mom groups, things like that. So I think it's important to just share a testimony and be like, well, we do have a lot of consultants, but we all know different people. And there's a lot, you don't have to just sell to the people in this area. And it's amazing. You think like a town of 6,000 is, super, super small, but I meet people that are in a consultant of like a town of 200 people. And they're doing big things. So I think it's just important to share that. I think that's definitely a misconception that people, it's kind of excuse that why they don't want to join.
Definitely. And like I've always said before, just because you see a decal on their car does not mean they're working their business. You've got to know when they sign up to be a consultant and they have a consultant ID number, or you may have purchased a 6-pack of bars from a consultant, she may be the last day of the month, every 4-month type of consultant where, and I think it's okay saying that to someone if they come to you and say, oh, well, you know what? I actually do it full time. And I like to say that my teaching job is a part-time because I enjoy it so much. And, several of the other girls that I've run across, they're not as invested as me, but this is one of my full-time gigs. And so there's a lot of people that just sign up to get the 25% discount. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, because it's true. Like, it is, go run a report right now in your team page and tell me how many zeros we have on September 24th. I mean, it's the 80-20 rule. 20% are doing 80% of the work. 80% are doing 20% of the work. Did I say that wrong? 80, 20, 80, 20? Yeah, that's right. Okay. I'm still tired, y'all. I was been on an airplane and I don't even know what today is. I even forgot today was Tuesday until I got to the airport and text message Bree going, OMG, I suck. I'm losing my mind. Okay. She's asking, how do you book more parties, Bree?
The pouch parties that I was talking about before. And I'll send you that link to Spice Dawn. She has a YouTube video that we can share out about doing the party split. So just encouraging people, trying to get them to do the pouch parties and only collecting. And they don't have to stop at $70. I have a lot that don't stop at $70. I haven't messaged this girl back, but she messaged me an order today from a pouch party, and she has more coming in. And I mean, I don't even know. I haven't added it up yet, but it's at least $100 order. So, you know, just trying to get them just to take the pouch, to take the party is the first step.
Right.
Personally, I've never done an in-home party because I don't have anyone interested in those. I am dying to do one. One day I'm going to find somebody to do one. But I tell people that and they're like, what? You were like a top earner in this company 2 times and you've never had an in-home party? No, I focus on a lot of online. Last year I did a lot of online parties. I love giving back, and something I did that was awesome last year, and I'm definitely going to do it again, the month of November and December. And take this with a grain of salt. Everybody is not in the position to do this, but I donated my commission to our food cupboard for booking parties. So I had people that would do parties for me, and I would give 15% of my commission. I would go and whatever that total was and buy food for the food cupboard. And people loved that. They loved being able to help give, you know, back. So they definitely, you know, bought into that and that helped me. And then that helped other people. So doing things like that and just trying to get the parties in their hands. And I think being consistent, asking people to do parties. You can't just sit there and post one time a month and be like, who wants to do a party? You have to ask people. You have to constantly, you know, be looking for your next opportunity of who you can give a party to. And not every party that you give out is going to be successful. I think that is definitely, you know, something that you have to think, because I have girls that'll be like, oh yeah, I booked one party this month, and then it comes in and it's $0. And I'm like, and then they're disappointed. I said, well, your hostess didn't do anything. That's what happened. I mean, they didn't share it with anybody. So I just had a party come back yesterday with $0. And she's like, yeah, I didn't share it with anybody. I'm like, okay, thanks. So just trying to keep them going. When I first became a consultant and I did parties, they weren't successful. To me, I stopped doing them for a little bit, and I just focused on, you know, my customers. But then I realized if I wanted to be an earner, a top earner, I had to do the parties. So.
It's so true. Teresa says, so with my full-time job, I'm not supposed to bring up my side hustle. How do you get around that?
Our school does not have anything that says I can't do that, but I do have a frontline that works at the post office. And apparently you're not allowed to sell anything if you work for the post office. So she's been experiencing that lately of, you know, like, how does she connect with people? And I told her, I said, well, there's nothing stopping you from like friending somebody on Facebook, a coworker. And I'm like, obviously don't poach customers coming into the post office, but start with your coworkers. See if someone will do a party at their house. I'm like, you don't even have to bring it up at work. Connect with them on Facebook and see if you can go that route. I feel for you though. That's terrible. I hate like that rule and stuff. And that was really hard for her because at her last job, she was able to share. So, oh, I love that. Brand your car. I recently just branded my car, and it has brought in a lot.
I have some ideas. So I think you could maybe have like a warmer on your desk or something, obviously, so people can smell, and they can approach you. If you have like a bathroom y'all use, put your hand soaps in the bathroom, put some room spray in the bathroom with like your contact info. Just like, you know, you're not like shining it from the rooftops, but just like put it there so people are experiencing it. Or put a fragrance flower in the bathroom. So just like put it around so people are like subliminally noticing it, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this hand soap, this is really good and creamy. And then maybe see your label and then come find you.
Yeah. And you could even say like, hey ladies, I wanted to see who wanted to go have a drink after work and do like a happy hour. Or anybody want to meet for work, for dinner after work, or get to know each other, like a girls' night out. Or anybody want to start a bowling league? Like find some other things that aren't Scentsy to do stuff outside of work so you can get those relationships happening, and then it still happens.
One thing that I did was like with the Scentsy Go, since I work in a call center, I have the exclusive one that we got in Anaheim, but I actually made it a type of a game with my coworkers that sit around me, because I have like 5 people that sit around me, and then there's like 2 other departments. So I actually go to them and they go into my filing cabinet. They pick out a scent they want to smell, and I put that in my Scentsy Go. And it's actually got me, it's really funny, but I've gotten nominated for Team Member of the Month because I always make my area smell nice. So, I mean, I work for a financial institution. However, I mean, I even have assistant managers that buy from me that I deliver to. Yeah. So, I mean, there's ways around it. And I'm pretty sure that with like different ideas that you gather, it can help.
It absolutely can. And Teresa says she works with 9 guys, no girls. I will tell you, I have guys that come and stop at my house to pick up 6-pack of bars with no women at all there. So sometimes the men like their stuff to smell better more than women do. So don't discredit it yet, or hand them out the car bars or the new vent clips and say, hey, I needed some guys' opinions on what this works in your car or truck. Will you mind trying this and then give me your feedback? So I've got something in my throat.
Has anyone ever had, I've been thinking about doing one, and I'm still kind of scared and nervous to do it, but having, you know, like now the fall season's here, I was thinking about having like 2-day open house. I mean, I live in an apartment and I don't really know a lot of people, but how would I get the word out? And also, would I just have a table set up and then have like the opportunity in one section? And I mean, I want to do something like that so I can get, since I'm too scared to really go out there to have like an open house for each catalog season.
That's a great idea. I personally never have done an open house because, again, I'm scared. But I do want to do it now. I'm booked for events at the moment, but I'm hoping in October. But I think, you know, you could also make up like little goodie bags for anyone that came. And you could have like the joint information in there. But I think also like just personally talking to them about it and sharing about how Scentsy has already changed you. And it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't have to be big things. I find a lot of my girls, they don't want to share what Scentsy's done for them. I'm like, it's done something for you. I said, if anything, it's brought you new friends and more confidence. And I was like, and that's something to be dang proud of. So I try to explain to my girls, I'm like, you have to share what it's doing for you and what it can do for others. But I love the idea of an open house. And I think that's great. And I think that you should text people. You can, if you're on social media, you can make Facebook posts. You can also make like a little flyer and put it on your Facebook story. And I think just consistently like advertising it, definitely.
Yeah, because I don't really know a lot of people. I do have a couple local customers, so maybe I could get them to bring somebody with them, or something. Can I do that too and put them like in a raffle or something? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just don't say anything about the raffle publicly, but you can say like
no, but I mean, if I message them or email them, I can say that.
Do like a customer appreciation party or something.
Okay. And should I have a table set with different warmers and products, or should I have my warmers like I have them sitting out and just have products out?
Whatever you want to do, girl. There's no right or wrong way.
Okay, thank you.
Also, maybe if since you said you lived in apartments, maybe if your apartment does like a email blast out to residents, see if they would post that share that you're having an open house. And maybe just provide your like cell phone number and not like your apartment number so they can like contact you or something. And then that way, then maybe more people would see it.
And you're in a gold mine. I mean, you have more neighbors than I have in a neighborhood being in an apartment. So I'm going to tell you to leave your house and so go meet some of those neighbors is what I'm going to tell you to do, because you can't run a business being indoors 24/7. So I'm going to have you go walking every night and go meet.
But it's kind of hard because most of them are Hispanic, so a lot of them speak Spanish.
Say hola, that's how you say hello in Spanish. Hola. Okay. And you go buy some Spanish catalogs, girl, and you buy Spanish products and you start handing that shiz out.
Mm-hmm. And everybody loves food. You could like take a plate of cookies.
I would do that. I'll order this weekend.
Everybody likes what, Michelle?
I said everybody loves food. You could like bake some cookies and like, you know, just because they speak a different language, they totally understand giving. And so that's totally something you could do.
I love it. And get your trick-or-treat bags ready. We're approaching October. You better have something to hand out for those trick-or-treaters, the parents, for sure. Okay,
Hey, the
guys.
leasing office is a great way too. You can ask them if you can set up a table or put some samples out there.
Absolutely. That's a great idea, Juanita. Okay, guys, we are at the top of the hour, so I want to thank Bree so much for coming on here. This call was so great, and I have extended an invitation for you to join our group page because I know you don't have an upline, but we've got a pretty darn group, so I've sent you an invitation to
Thank
be
you,
an
Heather.
adopted member on our group, and so we can still work together like we did tonight and still just share all the knowledge and all the tips and tricks and ideas. And I'd like to extend an invitation to your frontline in Houston, Heather, that has no one. I'm in Pearland in the Houston area. Maddie Swain is in League City in the Houston area. So she as well can contact us if she wants to come to any local meetups. We do monthly meetups. We're doing a social night at Jimmy Chonga's coming up. So we will take care of her locally if you'll just get us connected.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yes. All right. Thank y'all so much. We'll see you again next Tuesday night in our Zoom chat. Take care. I'll be coming live in the next couple of days. I think Work It Wednesday is happening tomorrow. If you're director and above, please join. If you're not a director and you're an SSC and above, I think next Wednesday we're going to send you a special invitation for you to work from 11 to 2 on this Work It Wednesday Zoom so you can get a taste of what this is like. I see Holly's face lighting up. So you can get a taste of what this is and this collaboration and how we can take your business to the next level. I will be going live in the next couple of days. I'll have a craft fair set up tomorrow, an event. So we'll do some brief event training and take some questions and I'll answer them and show you the display and how we do hardcore events. The best way to learn is hands-on, I think. So be looking for that. And what else? Anything I'm leaving out, girls? Anybody? No? I can't think of anything yet. I'm really tired and ready to go to bed, but I have to go finish packing. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you next Tuesday night. Bye-bye, everybody.